Like, if she was able to put on 22 pounds of muscle in 3 months, if she continued to train, like 3 more months, and then 3 more after that in like 3 years, she would probably end up putting on 80 pounds of muscle.
Sydney Sweeney has her gains.
Sydney Sweeney gained her entire lifetime of gains in 3 months. Coach Greg, in today's video, Sydney Sweeney added 35 pounds of muscle for a boxing movie role. No, she didn't. I am sick and tired of all the lies. Why does Hollywood keep doing this to us? 35 pounds of muscle in 3 turking months. What is up with all the lies? Are they now doing this on purpose? I ate chicken, broccoli, and rice. I trained 6 hours a day, and I put on 30 pounds of muscle in 3 months. It's gotten to the point where the regular person, people who don't watch Coach Greg, they're not watching Coach Greg and chill, that they actually are starting to believe this, that all you need to do is up the protein, go to the gym, and well, you're going to get jacked. That it's that easy. Even with trenbolone sandwiches, you're not going to put on 35 pounds in 3 months. I mean, this is a woman. She started about 120 pounds. 35 pounds of muscle would be the difference between somebody who's never set foot in the gym and somebody who's competing at the Miss Olympia Championship. 35 pounds on a woman is a lot. It would be like 70 pounds of muscle on a man. And so most women, i.e. 99% of females, will never put on 35 pounds of muscle in their entire lifetimes, even with steroids. So how is Sydney doing it in 3 freaking months? Sydney's 2-month training, I'm sorry. It was only 2 months. 3 of the months were bulking on protein and 2 months of training. And so think of how ridiculous this is. This is about 15 pounds of muscle per month. Half a pound of muscle a day. Most people struggling to gain half a pound of muscle a month. She's out there doing it in a day. And so what did she do? Well, let's see. Let's copy her program. 1 hour of weight training in the morning. That's fine. That makes sense. I can see that. 1 hour of working out. Next, 3 hours of boxing. How many of you think that doing 3 hours of boxing is going to help you to put on more muscle? Boxing is mostly cardio. It's going to make you fit. It's going to burn off a tremendous amount of calories. And so if they had said she lost 35 pounds in 3 months because she was training so much, that would have made more sense. If somebody started at 200 pounds and 3 months later, they're down 35 pounds from doing an hour of weights and 3 hours of cardio, I would believe it. And she's not even done there, guys. 1 hour of weight training in the evening. How many of you think that that is necessary? You have a newbie lifter. Hey, I want to get in shape. What am I going to do? Well, for day 1, we're going to work out for 1 hour with weights. Then we're going to do 3 hours of boxing, and then we're going to go and do another hour of lifting weights because the first hour it wasn't enough. This is severe overtraining. And so because of that, you know that Sydney Sweeney is on performance-enhancing drugs. Does anyone think that these famous actors are 100% natural? As soon as you hear put on 35 pounds of muscle in 3 months, you have to assume she's on abusive doses of performance-enhancing drugs. Steroids, SARMs, peptides, growth hormone, insulin, everything. You're expecting to see an incredible transformation. Perhaps she's shaving, losing her hair. She's going to have a puffy face. She's going to have severe side effects. But when I see the after, all I see is a girl who ate a little bit more cheesecake. I don't see a woman who's abused incredible amounts of performance-enhancing drugs. I barely see any changes. I see a girl who started eating any calorie surplus, and that's it. If you start training 5 hours a day, remember, I'm an IFBB pro. I've trained my entire life and I'm fit. If I made a video right now and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a 90-day transformation. I'm going to hop back on. I'm doing test, trend, everything under the sun. I am going to get jacked. I don't care about my health. And in 90 days from now, I'm going to put on 35 pounds of muscle. Does anyone think I could do it? I'm 192 pounds now. I'd have to get up to 227 pounds. At my biggest in my life, abusing steroids for 10 straight years, I got to 232 pounds. Does anyone think it's that easy to simply put on 35 pounds? And remember, I'm a hyper responder. I easily put on muscle, and I am on Turk Platinum. If I can't get that heavy that quickly, how could she, a woman with far lower levels of testosterone? And even if I could, do you think I would do 1 hour of weightlifting in the morning, followed by 3 hours of cardio, boxing, Muay Thai, whatever, bike riding, and then another hour of lifting weights after that? If I did that, do you think I could recover? Now, add to that, while being natural. You train for an hour, your muscles are sore, and guess what? When you grow when you're not training, when you're resting. When am I resting? I'm doing 3 hours of cardio after that, and then I have to drag my ass into the gym again and do some more bicep curls yet again? More bench presses? After boxing all day? This is ridiculous, and so we know that they are absolutely lying. Sydney Sweeney says that she added 35 pounds of muscle for her role in Christie by continually pounding more and more protein shakes. I don't know what I mean. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's bad enough when Wolverine says chicken, broccoli, and rice in 4 hours of working out a day. At least he's a man. It's somewhat believable to people who are very gullible. Perhaps 5% of the population are so stupid to think that guys are gaining this much muscle by just bulking up on chicken, broccoli, and rice, 6,000 calories a day, 4-hour workouts, 2-a-days. But does anyone think that a dainty female is adding 35 pounds of muscle by having extra protein shakes? If this were the truth, she should start a new business. Getting Sexy with Sydney Sweeney. And this is all you have to do. You have protein shakes. You know, not chicken, broccoli, and rice. It's the shakes. Protein in liquid form. It's more bioavailable. And so you put on a ton of muscle. And in 2 months, maybe 3, you're going to put on more muscle than 99% of women put on in their entire lives. I mean, she would make even more money. Every single IFBB pro would hire her. Hey, you got third at the Olympia this year? Oh, hire Sydney Sweeney. You have an extra protein shake or 2 a day? You're up 20 pounds of muscle. It's easy. It's not. Greg O'Gallagher chimes in, 35 pounds of weight. No, it isn't even 35 pounds of weight. She didn't gain 35 pounds. Even if it was just fat, it's not easy to gain 35 pounds of fat in 3 months. She would need to go in a 1,360 calorie surplus every single day for 90 days to gain that much weight in 3 months. That's perhaps almost double the calories that she would have been eating before going on this bulking diet. And remember, when you eat a lot of food, a lot of that is not actually going to turn to fat. She's doing what? 3 hours of boxing and 2 hours lifting weights every single day, 5 hours? How many calories do you think she's burning during those workouts? I mean, even if she's hardly trying at all, let's say she's half-assing everything. Boxing, I don't feel like I'm tired. Lifting weights, yeah, just give me the 10s. She's still going to burn 200 calories per hour. That's 1,000 calories. That means she would need to eat 2,300 extra calories in order to be in a surplus just to put on that much weight. How is that possible? It's not. Like, I really don't think that she could do it. Do you all have any idea what 35 pounds of muscle looks like, bruh? Men running all the gear in the world and eating 8,000 calories a day would struggle to do this in 18 months. 35? As in 35. Like 5 away from 40, yeah, okay. Adding 35 pounds and 35 pounds of muscle are 2 different things. Yeah, and they're also 2 things that she didn't do. Oh, sorry, I've been corrected. A new article came out, a different article. Of course, it was an exaggeration. It wasn't 35 pounds. Let me read this. Sydney Sweeney gained 34 pounds and built a fighter's body for Christie. Her trainer reveals how she did it. 35 was too much. It was 34. They were rounding up. I mean, I know men all round up their heights except for Coach Greg. I literally tell you exactly what I am because I don't need to lie. But it's 34 pounds. It's not any different. It's still gonna be impossible. You're gonna convince me that this girl walked into this private training facility and committed to gaining over 30 pounds in 3 months. A girl who's been thin her entire life just said, yeah, bring it. The protein shakes, you're going to have to wolf these down. And in 3 months from now, you're going to look like a professional bodybuilding competitor. If that was actually true and I was dating Sydney Sweeney, remember, I'm not dating her, I'm with Mepsigram, but if I was her boyfriend, I'd be saying, yeah, you're not drinking any of those protein shakes because what the hell did they put in them? If they think you're somehow gaining 30 pounds of muscle in 3 months, they are giving you something in secret, probably trenbolone sandwiches mixed with Anavar. 30 plus pounds is ridiculous. If they had said 15, be like, okay, look, it's going to be hard. Half of it's going to be fat. But don't worry, we can diet it off after. But can you commit to this for 3 months? We're going to go up 15 pounds. Look, you're not going to fit any in your clothes. You're going to look like a different person. Are you willing to do it? Hey, we're paying you millions of dollars. Maybe you could convince that actress to go for it. But 30 plus, no, impossible. Robert says about 2/3 of what Sweeney put on was muscle. It was somewhere around the 34-pound mark that she ended up putting on. We first heard it was 35 pounds of muscle. Then we heard it was 34. And now we hear it's 2/3 muscle. 2/3 of 34, it's approximately 22. And so Sydney Sweeney, they're saying, trainer saying his words, that she put on 22 pounds of muscle in 3 months and also 12 pounds of fat. No. Just no. Can you understand this? Steroids, they're not magic. Putting on 22 pounds of muscle in 3 months is the work of a magician. Even with 1 in a billion genetics, it doesn't happen. In a year, yes. With steroids, yes. Top tier genetics, top 1%, with steroids, primobolan, Anavar, the list goes on and on. 22 pounds of muscle in 1 year. But for a natural, top 1% genetics, probably 10 to 12 pounds of muscle in a year. She did double that in 3 months. I rest my case. It's not just how much you eat, it's when you eat. Bullshit. It is, in fact, how much you eat. If you ate the perfect meal 5 times a day at the exact hour, but you're eating at maintenance, you would not have gained 35 pounds. Around week 5 of training, Sweeney had already gained 20 pounds. 4 pounds a week, that's over a half a pound a day. That's about a 2,000 calorie daily surplus. Does anyone believe this? There's no way that those protein shakes were enough timed to put on 20 pounds in 5 weeks. She had dense shoulders and she was developing her back. We put 4 inches on her glutes alone, and she was loving that part of it. Y'all think she added 4 inches to her glutes in 5 weeks? Really? That it was mostly muscle, 2/3? The way back, when filming Wrapped, Roberts also helped Sweeney transition back to her natural size. People assuming going back down is easy, he says, but it takes as much discipline as putting the weight on. And so you're telling me that this girl with 1 in a billion genetics to put on 22 pounds of muscle in 3 months, that 3 months later she just lost it all? That it took willpower? How did she lose that much muscle that quickly? Did she simply lay in a bed and not move? If you put on 22 pounds of muscle, especially if it's natural, it's not just going to disappear. Is it that easy to just put on 20 pounds and lose 20 pounds whenever you want? Robert wants women especially to understand that strength training isn't the enemy. There's this fear. I don't want to get bulky or masculine, he says. Nothing could be further from the truth. If women could put on 22 pounds of muscle and 34 pounds in 3 months, it would be exactly the truth. That would be bulky. And if being strong and muscular wasn't that bad, why did she lose all of it following the movie? This is ridiculous. Like, if she was able to put on 22 pounds of muscle in 3 months, if she continued to train like 3 more months and then 3 more after that in like 3 years, she would probably end up putting on 80 pounds of muscle. Like, your first year, you have newbie gains. And so the first 3 months, you're just getting started. In the first 3 months, if you keep training for 9 more months, you're going to gain at least double that. And so the 22 pounds, if you extend it on, it would have been at least 44 pounds of muscle. Like, you just have to think of it logically. If you can gain that much muscle in a few months, you can continue to get a little bit more for years to come. You don't gain all the muscle of your lifetime in a matter of 3 months. The gains, they keep coming. The first year you gain the most, the next year you're going to gain less, and the next year even less after that. But most people can keep gaining for 10 or 15 years. And so first year, lots. Less, and then it kind of just trails off after that. Sydney Sweeney gained her entire lifetime of gains in 3 months. If you want to stay natural and make more gains than last time, not 34 pounds in 3 months, but 3 or 4 pounds of muscle in a month, who knows? Perhaps if you have genetics like Coach Greg, you can do it. Remember, if it doesn't exceed your expectations, it's a money-back guarantee and a $20 gift card. And so if you're interested, of course, Turk Builder Platinum and Turk Builder Max, code Greg, 15% off. Don't forget as well, if you have lower levels of testosterone, G-Test Platinum, as well as G-Focus Limitless for those of you studying, trying to write exams, concentrate, focus that much better. And so any of the supplements, head to the website, code Greg 15% off. And if you're interested in being a sponsored athlete and or ambassador, please click the link in the description. As well, if you want to carry our amazing supplement line in your stores and gyms, please apply by clicking below. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like this video if you liked it. Give it a like. Watch those 2 bloops. Of course, you can get the Circle Diet Book and Cookbook 3.1. If you're interested, head over to the website and the delicious Kaiko bars. Man, Mr. Mikey loved these so much. If you enter code Kaiko, Psycho, C-I-C-O, calories in, calories out, it's 50% off. It's a great deal. Head over to my website. And until next time, I am out.